Orlando Pirates played their second game in their preseason tour in Spain against Cadiz, and they won that game at 2-1. But you remember, as they played their first game as well against Cordoba, and then they threw that game 1-1. And if you remember that game, they didn't actually create a lot of chances. And I think if you look in today's games, this is where actually you see that today they were more comfortable. But there are a few things that I just want to talk about since the preseason started and all of this. And I think one of the good news is Apollos is back on training, and then Apollos is training with the squad right now. So we're going to see him maybe in the couple of games that are left. I think we are left with 3 games now before we come back and just start the season. So now, what happened in the game is Cadiz actually didn't have a plan to actually go out and attack Orlando Pirates. But then Orlando Pirates made a mistake in the beginning of the match, and then Cadiz capitalized on that. And I think when it's come to this goal, I'm going to actually give Sipho Chain 50% of the blame when it's come to the goal. And I know that's the mistake that was done in the middle of the park, and then the player went through a defense and then scored a goal. But what I can say is, if you look in this preseason tour, the 2 games, he conceded the 2 goals. And Ladla has been keeping the clean sheets in all his minutes that he's been getting. And then I think it might look like a little bit of unluck to Chain, because if you look in the goals, actually how he considered the goals, you realize that actually the player is supposed to score in that position as well. It's not like it's some way out of the 18 area, but I think the player also needs to score in that position. So that's why I'm saying that I'm giving him a blame for 50%, especially in the first game. I thought maybe he was supposed to pull one of the spectacular save as a top keeper. And then I think today's games was all about one of those things where I'm like, why are you using your feet? Go out with your feet and your hands, and then make yourself big in front of the striker, so that that person can actually have many maybe bad decisions to make, because you are there making yourself big in front of him. So I think it's one of those things. I'm not going to say a lot about goalkeeping because I've never been a goalkeeper before. So, but I think this is one of the things that he's supposed to actually adapt into doing. I know that he's been playing the ball with his feet, and I think I'm also going to give him his credits, because I think if you look at the second goal, he's the reason that's why actually we break down the defense with that throw, and then he went through to Moremi, and then Moremi kept running, and then I think it was a good run as well from Sendami to actually go and avail himself from Moremi to make sure that he can able to get something out of that, and then he able to control himself and then scored at 1. So it was a 2-1. We won today. But then I think you saw like a lot of players coming into the game, and then I think a lot of experienced players, especially in the second half. You realize that actually Orlando Pirates was controlling a lot of the second half. They actually played well today. They knew what they were going to do. And then I think in terms of the clear-cut chances, they didn't actually do anything that I can say it's wow. I don't think they tried enough to actually create clear-cut chances, but that one that they scored in terms of the second goal, it was one of those. But I think they need to do better on that, because if you look at the first game as well, it was one of those things where you were crying about one of those things that the wingers are coming inside, and then Butuma don't know where to run. And I think Radio Man is also suffering from that, and I think he's trying to be moving in terms of pocket and see if these guys can release him and then he score, because I think he has actually a good finishing, and I think maybe he can work on terms of running. But I think now the guys are used to play with Mahopa, who actually runs around and just chasing the ball. So I think it's going to be an issue for him if he doesn't actually start well in the season, because I think maybe coach wants to give him a chance this season. But also, I want to just talk about in terms of this tour that there are a lot of things that are actually happening at Orlando Pirates right now which are good, and then you're looking at the young stars that are getting a chance and actually to play in these games. And I think I've seen Dabshai as well. He's going to be a good defender the way he's playing, and I think something is there, something is coming out of there. And then I think what I haven't seen a lot, but I can tell you something, the player that impresses me a lot today was Masilela. I think Masilela is just a great player, and I can tell you something, this is the guy now that I think he can actually go in there and fight for that number 10 position. The way he's able to move with the ball, the way he's actually the confidence of him saying that I will run with the ball, I will pass, I will avail myself into pockets so that I can move the ball forward, and the way of getting the ball, trying to go forward all the time. And I think I like that about him. I think he's actually a good player. And I think Mpopa Dima came in the second half. I didn't see a lot, but I think he have some good touches there and there. So I think Bata as well, he came in and did and actually had one of those nice passes that he likes to do, the long ones as well. So I think that's in great movements in the midfield of the park as well. And I think Orlando Pirates, when you're looking at the whole squad, looking at the midfield, I think we are actually secured. Like, there is nothing that we can actually cry about, because we have Mtiano, we have Nduli, now we have Masilela. I think Masilela, I am so excited to actually I wish he can get a chance, actually. I wish he can get a chance next season to play some of the games, especially if maybe there are games where you are playing against the teams that are actually sitting back, because I think he's actually good with carrying the ball. I think maybe he can help you to kill some of the games next season. So I think I'm excited about him. But yeah, so far it's been one of those 2 games. We threw the first game and then now we won this one, and then it's 2-1. We're going to be playing Al Ittihad from Saudi Pro League on Tuesday. So we're going to be talking about one of that game as well. And then there will be 2 more games that will be following that game. So then we finish our preseason. So we're coming back to play Milford at home at Orlando Amstel Arena. My name is Popkis. Thank you so much. If you've been watching this video up until this far, you can go down in the comment and tell me, what do you think about our preseason performance so far? Do you think are we going into the right direction? Do you think some of the players, the youngsters that we brought into the tour, they need to get a chance in our first team next season? What do you think? Make sure that you continue the conversation down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Up the Bucks, once, always.